JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 8th of June 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, jumping into the charts, quick update on here on the German index. So it's relatively flat, I would say, today, but that's still okay. I mean, we had a push higher. We did move north. Yep, we did create a new all-time high. Let me just let me just double check. No, sorry, that we didn't. We just came very close to that, doing that, but failed to push above the yesterday's high, which is the all-time high, and yep, we drifted kind of back down. So again, we'll continue monitoring the situation because it's very close here. It still could pop higher, but as I've mentioned this morning as well, that still the preference is to wait for a break of that barrier, but break of that 15,732 zone in order to go for some higher levels. So keep that in mind. For now, like I said, long story short, we're still observing the price action, and as I mentioned to you this morning as well, in order to maybe consider a bit of a corrective move here lower, yes, a drop below. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. There we go. A drop below this little hurdle here, these 15,657. Could be needed in order just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So we did have a drop initially, but as you can see, the bulls pushed it back up. So in a way, we're kind of stuck here, and yep, we're waiting to see where this daily candle is going to end up being today. If it stays somewhere around here, yes, we will continue monitoring the situation tomorrow and waiting for a break and a stay above, either above this 15,732 zone or below the 15,657 territory. So let's keep an eye on that one. Dow Jones Industrial Average. So let me just adjust this. There we go. So yesterday we closed in negative, or actually we remained flat for the day. And yeah, I mean, looking at this picture, didn't really quite go well. Let me just quickly double check the figures here. So yeah, or actually we did drop a little bit lower. So there we go. So just a slight adjustment here. So this is a bit wrong here, as I understood. The Dow Jones closed with a 0.36% decline. So yeah, this figure here seems to be a little bit on the wrong side, but. Anyway, probably preparing for today's trading already. So basically, we closed yesterday slightly in the red. S&P 500 also closed slightly in the red. It was Nasdaq which managed to squeeze some gains out of yesterday's trading session. And yep, for now, I mean, the only thing we can do is kind of wait until we get a clear breakthrough one of the levels here. So for the upside, what I'm looking at here is the excuse me, I'm looking at this downside line taken from the high of the 10th of May, and also I'm keeping an eye on this 34,667 territory right here. Or actually, let me just double check this. So this level here, no, this needs to be adjusted. So this no longer is needed. There we go. This 34,850 territory. Now that's a little bit more accurate. So that's the current highest point of June. So yesterday we came very close to testing that level, but we failed to reach that, and instead we reversed back down. So we're still basically trading below this downside line. In order to, like I said, to go for some higher levels, we need to see a clear break through this barrier, through this 34,850 zone, and then yes, the path towards the current all-time high near the near the 35,092 territory could be open. So keep that in mind. I can see in chat room here, Evo, yep, hello to you too. I hope you're having a wonderful trading day today. So yeah, coming back to the instruments here, the silver here. Excuse me, silver is still stuck. It's still struggling to get back above the upside line taken from the low of the 31st of March. Although it keeps kind of trading just below this, near this upside line, but still below it. That kind of raises concerns. I mean, for me, that's why I'm sitting here and waiting for this nice move above the 28.23 territory in order to get a little bit more comfortable with the upside. So for now, I'm not really getting that. So yep, that's why I'm not really getting comfortable with the upside. With the downside as well, I'm not really excited about examining lower levels yet, because basically I need to see a nice daily candle staying below the 27.40 zone right here in order to go for some lower areas. And then yes, we could maybe consider more bears joining in here, but at the moment, even then, we're still above the 21-day EMA, so basically it's kind of a no man's game here at the moment on silver. So we need some clarity in order to kind of squeeze something out of this one. Brent oil. So Brent oil is, yeah, is drifting a little bit lower here. So after we've managed to overcome the the previous kind of highest point, or actually the highest point of March, and we managed to overcome the highest point of 2020. Yep, you can see that the commodity drifted higher, and it's now drifting back below that highest point of 2020 near the 71.30 zone right here. So if we stay today below this, then well, we could maybe consider a bit of a corrective move lower. So keep that in mind. Ethereum, also interesting developments here. So drifting a little bit lower, broke this upside line, of course, taken from the low the 23rd of May, drifted to the downside, tested the 100-day EMA, and now the big question here is, can it drift further south? Well, again, I would prefer to see maybe actually a drop somewhere below this 100-day EMA and a drop below the 2,383 territory right here, in order to go for further declines. And yeah, for now, long story short, although it is a little bit on the bearish side, but let's wait for that daily candle to remain below this area, below the 100-day EMA and below the 2,383 zone, in order to get a little bit more excited with further declines, where we could then aim for that 200-day EMA, shown as the black line right here. And AUDJPY, very quickly on this one. So also still monitoring this one. So I've mentioned already AUDJPY previously in one of my previous videos. Basically, we're waiting for a clear breakout here. So currently the pair is getting squeezed. So let's see where this is going to break out to, because yes, it is forming a triangle pattern. Yes, the prevailing trend was to the upside, so it kind of increases the chances for a further move north here. So in a way, according to some TA rules, yep, it could be a continuation move higher here, but again, we cannot really just blindly take that. We need that confirmation break first before examining the next directional move. So for now, we're waiting on this one, but eventually it could become an interesting trade here. So wait for a breakthrough one of these lines in order to consider the next short-term directional move. But for the downside, for example, I would also need to see it drop somewhere below the 83.93 territory right here, just because it recently acted as a fantastic area of support. As you can see here, it acted as the kind of it is the lowest point of May. GBPJPY, also this one's a little bit more negative, I would say. It's drifting a little bit to the downside here today. GBP is slightly on the weaker side, when I last time picked up on GBPJPY, which was yesterday, I said to you that keep your eyes on this upside line, and most importantly, keep your eyes on this 154.84 zone right here, which, as you can see, is now breaking, is now getting broken. And yesterday we drifted lower. Although we failed to stay below this hurdle, we still remained below this upside line. So this kind of put that negative spin on the near-term outlook. So which means that now, for example, given that we are already trading below the 154.84 zone, we're going to keep an eye on this level. If the rate stays below it, then yes, further declines could be possible. And then we'll take it from there. EURUSD. So EURUSD is drifting to the downside, yep, we are still within this falling channel pattern. So from which kind of is dragging here from around the beginning of March. So for quite a while this has been in play, as you can see nicely here. So the pair dropped below this support zone, which is roughly around the 1.0928 zone, and yep, now we can see we could see a possible test of the lower side of the falling channel. And we could also, at the same time, we could test the 200-day EMA. So let's see if that works out. But also, let's not forget that basically, overall, we're still trading above this upside line. So this whole move from the beginning of March, could be seen as a temporary correction. So this upside line here, which is drawn from the low the 18th of May, is still in play. If all this here provides good support, then another rebound could be possible. So keep that in. For now, from the very short-term perspective, I'm still aiming for the downside here, but only for that lower side of the falling channel and for this 200-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there. And finally, EURUSD. So yep, the pair is still kind of trading below this downside line. I mean, this morning I talked about this potential idea of seeing maybe a falling channel here, but again, depends how you're going to draw this. Maybe this is actually a it could be seen as a falling wedge. So yeah, there's could be several interpretations either way, even if it's a falling channel or a falling wedge here. Then if you want to go for the upside, you still need to see a break of the upper side of those formations here in order to, like I said, get a little bit more comfortable with the upside. But for now, long story short, we will keep an eye on this side here, on this upper side of the, well, whatever you want to call it, channel or wedge. Depends on how you're going to draw it, of course. Still, yeah, we need to see a break through that barrier. And even then, as I mentioned to you previously, guys, that in order to go for some higher levels, well, we need to see a pop above this barrier, above the 1.2266. That's kind of the safer option here, just because this break here would confirm a forthcoming higher high and more buyers could join in. For the downside, if as you can see today, we saw a drift lower and a nice good hold up near the 21-day EMA, from where the pair rebounded and made its way up again. So basically, this 21-day EMA together with this 1.2161 territory are kind of doing their job and kind of providing good support. But if that gets cleared, well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a move to the downside here. So keep that in mind. So, guys, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. This was a very quick wrap up of a few instruments here. So, yep, like I said, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you very much for joining in. I really appreciate your time, your views, your likes, guys. I really do. So, if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, in my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.